Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of March 3rd through March 7th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Good morning, RT. Thank you for joining us in the chat today. Hope you're having a great day. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for March 3rd through March 7th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading This March, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, trade ideas for this trading week. We store all of our Google documents with our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder. So you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes. And you can also find a direct link to that publicly accessible Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome, Pawn, the Crow. Good to see you all today. Hope you all had a great trading week and are doing well. So firstly, we'll go over a couple quick trade updates, and we'll look at those charts in Webull as well. So firstly, we got stopped out of the shares that we were assigned. We had on MED, Medifast. We had sold cash secured puts on Medifast for the February expiration back in early January. We got assigned those shares, so that gave us a cost basis of about 14. So as MED rose above that cost basis, we trailed that with a stop. We finally got stopped out on the 25th at 14.57. So we got a small profit of about an ROI of about 4%, which equates to a monthly ROI of about 40%. So this is kind of a variation of a wheel strategy where we sold cash secured puts. We got assigned those puts, and then we've stopped out or actually made a profit on those shares. So again, another variation of the wheel strategy we'll probably employ on some of the other cash secured puts that we have sold that you'll see. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this swing or scalp or wheel strategy trade on MED. Welcome, Fairchild. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So secondly, we sold some cash secured puts on SOXL. SOXL is the leveraged long on the semiconductor sector. So we saw that decline, that breakdown in SOXL yesterday. We've been watching to sell cash secured puts against SOXL for quite some time. Had a sellout at 25 strike price for the March expiration, and we sold those on the 27th when semiconductors broke down for 435. Again, we'll attempt to buy those back cheaper, or again, if we happen to get a sign, we can do just a wheel strategy, rinse and repeat again. You can hear more of our thesis on these cash secured puts on SOXL in last week's weekly trading game plan, and also in the video on how we use SOXL and SOXS to make money trading semiconductors via the link in the notes. We also sold more cash secured puts against Shutterstock. We had previously sold some. I think they're the May expiration. We'll see those in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So we also sold a March expiration at 27.50 cash secured put on Shutterstock at 4.30. So you'll see Shutterstock significantly broke down. So now we've got two different cash secured puts on Shutterstock, one for March, one for May. And again, we'll look to buy those back cheaper, or if we happen to get assigned those shares, again, we'll look for that recovery. Again, so Shutterstock got that merger with Getty, so we expect a rebound back to the 28 area on Shutterstock. Again, I think part of that got pushed down in the sell-off in tech generally. You can hear our previous due diligence on Shutterstock via the link to the video in the notes. Just a quick reminder, although I don't ever recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to see when we enter or exit any trade, you can get real-time trade alerts on our entries and exits by joining our Patreon. We've got a bonus video via the link in the notes on how you can use our trade alerts, how you can best use our trade alerts to help you make money trading. I'll show you we also have several additional alerts channels in our Discord available to our Patreon members. So firstly, we have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. I also set up price alerts in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to our Thinkorswim alerts channel. If I happen to follow those up with a trade, then I'll reply to that TOS price alert with our entry in the TOS channel. So we could see some of these alerts triggered. CONY, which we'll talk about, we're watching CONY, broke its 52-week low. ATKR broke its 52-week low, one that we talked about last week or a couple weeks ago. Also NVDY, another one we're going to be watching, hit its 52-week low. Also AEHR, and this is one we're looking at potentially selling puts. I have a sell out on puts on AEHR as well. So again, all ones that you might want to take a look at their 52-week lows right now. If I make a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim price alert, then I would reply or post in the trade alerts channel. So you can see when we sold our cash secured puts on SOXL, we sold more cash secured puts on Shutterstock, etc. We got stopped out of our MediFast. So again, if it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I'll post it in the trade alerts channel. We also have a channel with real-time alerts generated by our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc., near a support price target. You can hear more about how you can use these real-time alerts via the link to the bonus video in the notes. And again, you can get access to this real-time alerts channel by joining our Patreon. Again, a great way for shorter-term traders as well as swing traders to see sector rotations, changes in sentiment, reversals in the market. So there's a PRLB, it's a 3D printer breaking out. METC, coal, coking coal, rare earth that we're watching breaking out. Cold, that's the short on natural gas breaking out. So that means we're moving up. So that means natural gas is going down. So again, a great way to see reversals, changes in sentiment, sector rotations in the market. Again, you can get access to all that information by joining our Patreon. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll go over our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Actually, let me go back and let me look at those trades in Webull, and then we'll jump forward to our top swing trading stocks to watch. So here's our trades in Webull. So here's again Medifast. We bought that as a weight loss, looking for a weight loss pop in January, kind of a typical January trend. That never really panned out. So we sold those puts and we got assigned. It did pop up a little bit. And so again, given our cheaper cost basis from selling those puts, we were able to get a profit in those assigned shares in Medifast. And then you see it's broken down since then. So looking at lower puts possibly in Medifast, but not shares at this time, as it's kind of past that window of opportunity of early January. SOXL, again, semiconductor sector, see that steep decline, pretty dramatic decline. It was holding that 25 for quite some period of time. So we've got those cash secured puts. So as we'll see when we get to our puts ROIC, if I sold them at 25, my cost base is about what, 21.65. So if we get a rebound off of there, should be able to buy those back cheaper. It's actually a little up from there, so I haven't got a sign yet. And again, Shutterstock, a real steep decline for quite some period of time, had somewhat disappointing earnings. So we'll wait for a rebound in Shutterstock. And again, we've got both the March and the May cash secured puts. So we'll wait for that rebound in Shutterstock. If we do get, we haven't got to sign those shares yet, although we could have anytime soon. Then again, we'll look at selling covered calls potentially, or putting a stop in on those shares on Shutterstock once they're above our cost basis. Okay, now let me grab a drink and we'll talk about our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Okay, so here's our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. I'll go over the quick updates to our watch list in our notes, and then we'll also look at those charts in Webull, and we'll look at our price targets, etc., in our watch list Google Sheet. So firstly, taking a couple of the shorts on technology on the AI bubble that we had in our watch list previously out of our watch list, as they've already run up. So we were watching AIBD, which is the short on big AI and big data. I missed that turn. It's already run up when the AI bubble kind of popped. You can hear more of our thesis, how you can use AIBD and AIBU to trade the AI and big data theme. So if we do get a short-term rebound, you could trade AIBU on the bounce. You can access that video via the link in our notes. Similarly, we were watching SARK, which is the short on ARK-K. So again, I missed that turn in ARK-K. So SARK's already run up, unfortunately. I again missed that turn. So congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who made money on those turns, trading AIBD or SARK. So now in our top swing trading stocks to watch, one I've added this week is AMZY. AMZY is the yield max on Amazon. So again, we saw the Mag 7s pretty much decline, a lot of profit taking in the Mag 7s, made some of these yield maxes, monthly income generators on the Mag 7s attractive, which I like those as long as they have a positive total return. So we'll also see in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet the positive returns on AMZY and several of the other yield maxes that we're now watching. You can see the last ex-dividend date on AMZY was February 13th. So the next one is March 13th. The last dividend it paid was about 55 cents. And you can hear more about our analysis on some of these yield maxes via the link to the video in our notes. Still watching CONY, and CONY had broken down after a little bit of a pop in earnings. I didn't think the earnings were bad, but it did decline, and now the steep decline in Bitcoin driving CONY down. We saw it had just made a recent 52-week low. So again, we're looking at that one. It went last ex-dividend on February 6th, paid $1. over $1. So its next dividend is about March 6th. So that one's coming up. So we'll see if we can get an opportunity to get into CONY, if it bottoms, if Bitcoin bottoms and rebounds. Again, you can hear our analysis, several analysis videos via the bonus link in the notes. Nextly, we also added the yield max on NVIDIA to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. So NVDY is the monthly dividend payer yield max on NVIDIA. So we saw that NVDY also broke its 52-week low. So we're going to see if we can catch a bottom in NVDY. See, it went last ex-dividend on February 27th, so we've got plenty of time till March 27th. The last dividend it paid was over $1.60. We've done several videos on NVDY and included it in our analysis on the yield maxes, and you can listen to those videos via the links in our notes. Also, another yield max is Tesla. Yield max on Tesla, TSLY. We've traded TSLY profitably in the past. Again, decline in the Mag 7, decline in Tesla gives us an opportunity to pick those up at a reasonable price. So TSLY went last ex-dividend on February 20th, so the next ex-dividend should be about March 20th. And it last paid about 58 cents. So as you see, we're watching a lot of these dividend payers, so we don't really have to predict the bottom of the market or the Mag 7. We can pick up these dividend payers, get paid while we wait for those Mag 7 stocks to rebound, and then again take those profits off appropriately. So again, if the market continues to decline as we saw typically, March, we might bottom sometime in March and then rebound March, April. So again, we can get paid, lower our cost basis, get a monthly dividend while we wait for that bottom and rebound. Just a quick reminder, you can now watch all of our top swing trading stocks to watch, as well as our bullpen stocks and our shopping list stocks in our watch list Google sheet. This gets automatically updated at the end of each day. It's got price targets, etc. More information, help you trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. We've got a whole series of videos on how you can watch our top swing trading stocks to watch using our watch list Google sheet. You can get 24/7 access to our watch list Google sheet by joining our Patreon. So here's our watch list Google sheet, the top swing trading stocks to watch. So you can see we've also got price targets, support and resistance levels, risk reward profiles, the dividend information. So you can see their last ex-dividend, how much each paid, the nominal yield. So you can pick the one. You can see the nominal yield on CONY, CONY, TSLY, nominal yield over 100%. NVDY is 97. So AMZY is the lowest nominal yield. See if they're optionable, what their ATR is to help you set stops as well as take profit. We quickly look at those charts also in Webull. So here's our watch list with our top swing trading stocks to watch. Again, watching these, we want to see, a bottom and turn in the underlying stock. So Amazon, Coin, NVDY, and Tesla. But we can see they all kind of bounced back up on Friday. We got that relief rally on Friday. So they'd previously set a new 52-week low. So we'll see if those lows hold. If so, we'll start buying these yield maxes on the ones with the highest total return. So there's AMZY, CONY, again, a little relief rally on Friday. but pretty steep decline. That looks like pretty much like a capitulation pre-market on Friday, and then a bounce. So again, we'll see if these 52-week lows hold. Also, as you can see, several of these you can trade overnight in Webull. So again, Webull has 24-hour by 5-day-a-week overnight trading. So there might be an opportunity. You can see those symbols here in my watch list, as well as in the watch list tab. So you might be able to get a cheap price overnight trading on some of these yield maxes. Take opportunity of a cheap price if there's liquidity. So here's NVDY, again, a little bit of a relief rally on Friday, was lower previously. TSLY, again, looked like it was going to decline further. That again looks like a capitulatory bottom, so that looks pretty attractive. Then a little bit of a rebound. Another thing that's useful is to see kind of what time of day these peak out. So some of these, they tend to peak right after the open and then decline further in the day. So if you don't really get a steady bottom early, see the steep decline right at the or near the open in the first hour or so. So again, it's worth looking at the behavior of these stocks, see when they have a tendency to bottom. And those would then, again, in addition to the support and resistance levels, can help you pick a good time to buy these. Again, a lot of these yield maxes seem to make their bottoms or tops within the first hour of trading. So I hope that all helps. Welcome to Ricky Khan. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll go through our bullpen stocks. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 20 free fractional shares of stock by opening and funding your account with as little as $500. Each of these fractional shares worth $3,000 to $3,000. If you'd use our affiliate link in the description box below, you can get your free fractional shares of stock, take advantage of any other additional promotions they have at this time, and also help support our BeachBum trading community, all of which we greatly appreciate. Okay, so let's go over our bullpen stocks for this week. If you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that might not have this set up right now to warrant inclusion in our top swing trading stocks to watch, but I've identified that they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, and we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they break down and run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen. And again, we can revisit them again in the future. So some updates to our bullpen stocks for this week. I added GCT, GigaCloud Technology. This I identified as a double bottom in FinViz on the 24th. So I put it in the bullpen. As you'll see, I will see if the setup improves. We've done several quick due diligence on GCT, and you can access those via the links to the videos in our notes. Another yield max on the Mag 7 that we've got in the bullpen is GOOY. GOOY is the yield max on Google. Put that in the bullpen a little while ago. It has a lower total return than some of the other yield maxes, not quite as good of a setup. Although, again, this might be one we'll pick up, another yield max we might pick up. It went ex-dividend on February 20th, only pays 39 cents. Goes ex-dividend on March 20th again. So we've got a little bit of time. Again, we've analyzed a number of these yield maxes on the Mag 7 previously. So you can hear that via the video in the notes. Again, one we've been watching for a while, METC, Ramaco Resources. This is the play I mentioned on coking coal, which is used for developing steel. And they also have rare earth elements. You heard the tussle between Zelensky and Trump on rare earth elements. Sounds like that's fallen through again right now, so that might actually benefit METC. Saw it was coming down a little bit, so we'd love to get a piece of METC. You can hear our due diligence on METC, why we like it as both a coking coal and rare earth elements play via the link to the video in the notes. Again, we saw coking coal yesterday had come down, so again, this might be a good opportunity to get into METC. Also been watching Tatron components for a while, getting low float. Small cap on electronics and computer distribution. We've traded Tatron in the past. You can see our due diligence on Tatron via the several links to them in the notes. And you can now also watch our bullpen stocks in the bullpen sheet and our watch list Google sheet. So you can see price targets, risk reward profile, dividend information, optionality information, so we can see Tatron's the only one that's not optionable, so we can sell covered calls against that one. Also their PE, how cheap are they? So we see GCT is pretty cheap at a 5.8 PE. Also their ATR, so how volatile, so GCT more volatile. Just a quick reminder as well, this gets automatically updated as well as at the end of each day. But if I do make any changes after the fact, we have a stock watch list updates channel in our Discord available to our Patreon members. So you can see when I added NVDY or AMZY to our top swing trading stocks to watch, and GCT to our bullpen on the 25th. Post that to the stock watch list channel in our Discord. Notify our Patreon members of those updates so you can take advantage of those. So if we look at our bullpen stocks in Webull, again, you can see which ones have overnight trading. So GCT happens to have overnight trading, so it might be an opportunity. So again, you can see it's bottomed out recently. If I zoom out a little bit, and we can see if that low 16, mid 16 area holds. See the 52-week lows at 1561. So I probably put the price target there. So we'll see if it comes down to that 1560-ish area. And if so, if that holds, you can see it's been in pretty steep decline recently. Probably the downward pressure from broad technology. Again, the yield max on Google. So we'll look for a bottom in that. Again, bottom support level in Google. So again, tend to look at the charts of the underlying stocks, see if it's bouncing off a support level. Use that as an entry point to determine entry into the yield max for that stock. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you had a great trading week and are doing well. METC, again, coking coal, rare earth materials, pretty low right now. So again, I was looking at that on Friday, see if we get an entry point. 880 is pretty good. In the past, it has been a bit lower. So this support one says about 930, so 880, 878. I think the 52-week low is 881. Lower support at 727. So yeah, it looks pretty good time to get into MET-C. And again, I can watch our Bullpen Stocks and our watch list Google Sheets, trade directly off of those without having to shift them back and forth between our top swing trading stocks to watch and our bullpen. Again, Tatron, pretty choppy, low float, pretty illiquid, but it's been pretty steady, right in the 250, 260 range for quite some time. Again, one that you need a contract catalyst, some type of catalyst to give it a pop. Otherwise, it's just chopping around. Does pay a dividend, so they recently paid a 5-cent dividend. See, in the past, it's been significantly higher, but again, it tends to pop or pop on news. Added a couple, and we'll see if we have time to do any due diligence on our honorable mention stocks. But again, you can see I've added some this week, I'll point out. So I added RES, RPC Inc., and oil and gas equipment. This came up as a multiple bottom in FinViz. It also came up in my upside profitable query that I run in our database. So it says it's got, positive 2 or better risk reward profile. They're also profitable. So we've done previous quick due diligence on RES, RPC Inc. that you can listen to via the link in the notes. Also one we haven't traded in quite a while that popped up as a multiple bottom in FinViz is IMMR, Immersion Corp. They do gaming technology, etc., software. It's also a metaverse play. So again, metaverse kind of that hype peaked out and rolled over quite some time ago. But it was interesting. IMMR is a profitable company. They're kind of sitting in the middle of their range, their long-term range. So I didn't think it warranted even inclusion in our bullpen right now. But some you might want to take a look at. And if we have time, we can take further looks at these honorable mention stocks. Again, we've done previous due diligence, a very detailed due diligence on IMMR in the past, and you can listen to that via the link in the notes. So nextly, our shopping list stocks. Again, we always recommend you have your shopping list ready to be able to take advantage of irrational corrections in the market, irrational reactions to earnings, etc. And this week was a great opportunity for you to have your shopping list ready. And as soon as the market bottoms, again, have your shopping list stocks ready, be able to take advantage once the market does bottom or your shopping list stock bottoms and rebounds, be able to take advantage of those. We'll look at our shopping list stocks in a minute. One of the updates I've made to our shopping list stocks is I've replaced URNM with URAX. Talked about this yesterday. We see uranium's rolling over, coming back down, cycling back down. And I kind of preferred URAX, which is based on URA, as a trade on the rebound. And these do have different compositions. So URNM was at its 52-week low, but URA is not. So I'm watching URAX, see when it bottoms, and then we can trade the cycle back up, swing back up in uranium using URAX. Again, you can hear more about our analysis and comparison of the ETFs on uranium via the link to the bonus video in the notes. So again, now you can see our shopping list stocks in the shop list tab of our watch list Google Sheet. So we've got some of the yield maxes in the shopping list. Again, MP is another rare earth trade, MSB on steel, JEPI and JEPQ, popular dividend payers, some REITs, we still own land, OTC, STAG, O, etc. All the REITs kind of rebounded recently. Again, we watch USOI, still watching that for a bottom in USO. Again, it just went ex-dividend recently, so it's near its 52-week low. But again, that's because it just went ex-dividend and the decline in oil. So we watch for a bottom in USO under 70, and then we can pick up that monthly dividend payer on oil. It's TSLY. And again, I've replaced URNM with URAX as the one we want to watch for uranium, and you can see it's somewhat above its 52-week low and then more above previous support. So if that comes down, then again, we'll swing uranium with URAX. Again, although we always recommend you have your shopping list of stocks ready, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content for education and hopefully some entertainment purposes only. We recommend you still stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. Again, we saw that steep decline in the market. Still got higher for longer interest rates. So I've seen more stocks getting delisted, going bankrupt, etc., particularly retailers, etc. So again, we stay away from those. If you're concerned about the solvency of a money-losing stock or risk of a offering or reverse split, you can use our biotech due diligence Google Sheet to calculate their quarter's cash flow positive, not just biotechs, but any money-losing company. Again, calculate how many quarters they've got before they need to raise capital, be it offering shares, or they could go insolvent, go bankrupt, etc. And you can then get access to our biotech due diligence Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. Okay, let me grab a drink and we'll go through dividend payers. So if anyone in the chat has a particular dividend payer you'd like to take a look at, I'll check the chat as well. Try to keep an eye on the chat if anyone has a particular dividend payer you want to take a look at. But in addition to our swing trading stocks, we also use dividend payers to generate income while we're waiting for our swing trading stocks to set up, swing back up. And we use our dividend payers Google Sheet to build our schedule of dividend payers with the income, the dividend payment schedule, total return, the risk reward profile, the categories that we would like. And you can also do likewise. Use our dividend payers to create your schedule of dividend payments by joining our Patreon. Got a couple additions to our dividend payer Google Sheet that I want to go over first. So the first one we're adding to the add sheet of our dividend payers is RDIV, the Invesco S&P Ultra Dividend Revenue ETF. This was mentioned in a recent video by Jaspreet Singh at Minority Mindset. So I thought this would be interesting to look at. He was mentioning that as kind of a basis for a dividend payer portfolio. So I wanted to take a look at it, see how it looks. So if we look at RDIV, So again, this is based on the S&P. You can see our calculation of total returns, pretty good, 17.8, pays quarterly. We can look at the profile via the link in the column in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. So here's our DIV. We can see it pays quarterly. Last paid about 51 cents, 50 cents, 44. See, it's relatively high, but it's come down when the S&P came down from its all-time high, did rebound. It's got a pretty sizable AUM, 827 million. Pretty low volume, so a little choppy, a little illiquid. See, its nominal yield's only about 3.9. Expense is very low, though. It's pretty cheap for a dividend payer, 0.4%. See its constituents, so it's got, high dividend payers, Philip Morris, CVS, Best Buy, Chevron. So let's look at their definition. So the S&P 900 dividend revenue weighted index. So 90% of the total will comprise the underlying index. Positive revenue producing constituents of the S&P 900. So again, one of the risks with some of these, some of these companies might have to cut their dividends, so just be aware of that. CVS, Best Buy, etc. So good to know the composition of this ETF, but you can see it's produced a pretty nice total return this year, and almost 18%. See the risk reward profile. Not a whole lot of variance, not a whole lot of upside. Again, is relatively high right now, so again, might be an opportunity if we get further correction in the market to get into our DIV and get that positive total return over the long term. See, it's got a nice long-term upward trend. So we can also compare that to some of the other S&P dividend payers. Let's look in the ad sheet. Kind of, they tend to be SP something. So here's SPDV, SPY-D, SPY-V. So you can see the total return on those. SPY-V's almost the same, 17.7. In our main sheet, got just the SPY has a better total return. So this says just buying just the SPY would give you a better total return than any of those other SPY-related. SPY-T, 16%. So again, just buying the SPY and taking advantage of, even though the SPY has a low dividend, pays a small dividend, only quarterly, the total return on just buying the SPY is better than these other dividend payers on the SPY, with the exception of maybe SPXL. It's 28%, so there's a leverage long on the SPY. So it's got an even better total return, but again, that's probably the price appreciation. So again, you can compare the various dividend payers on the SPY using our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. So let me know what you all think of RDIV in comparison to some of the other dividend payers on the SPY. Do you use RDIV, or which of the dividend payers on the SPY do you use to collect dividends, get the best total return on SPY stocks? So I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments or in our Discord. Secondly, similarly, there's one on the NASDAQ on the Qs. This is another kind of relatively new one to me. And NEOS, NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF. This was mentioned in a recent video from the ETF guide. and they were comparing it with the 0DTE ETF, I think it's QDTE or something like that. And we have that one in our sheet, so we'll look at that one as well. So if we look at QQQI, so here's QQQI, NEOS NASDAQ 100 high income ETF. You can see it's calculated, we've calculated the total return on that to be about 15%. See, it pays monthly. See the risk reward profile. So again, it's relatively new, so we don't have a lot of history on it. But we can look at the chart in FinViz. So again, pretty new. See, it pays monthly. See that recent decline, be a decline on the NASDAQ. So it paid 61 in February, 62 in January, so about 60 cents pretty consistently. See, it's pretty topped out as the NASDAQ topped out. Now it's broken down. See, its nominal yield about 14%. Expenses still relatively cheap, 0.7. AUM very significant, one over $1 billion, more liquidity. So this is more highly traded, so more liquid than RDIV. See its composition, looks like, heavy in the Mag 7. So this is going to behave like the NASDAQ, like the Mag 7. So this ETF, high monthly income, tax efficient manner. It's a covered call strategy on the NASDAQ 100. So it's going to behave like the, mostly like the NASDAQ 100. So if we compare that QQQI to some of the other NASDAQ dividend payers, so we can do a search in our Google sheet for NASDAQ. See QQQX, here's that QDTE, QQQX, and QQQY. What was QQQI is about 15%. QQQX, about the same. QQQY, 16, so a little better. Look in our main sheet. Got QMOM, a momentum-based one. QQQ, QQQY, QYLD. So you can see of all of those, again, just buying the Q would give you a better total return than any of those dividend payers on the NASDAQ on the Q. So it may be just better just buying the basic index than these various dividend payer strategies. So I hope that all helps. So again, you can compare those using our dividend payers Google sheet. Find the one with the best total return, even though they may have a more attractive seeming nominal yield, like QQY has a nominal yield of 39%. But when you calculate the total return, it is not as good as some of the others. And again, here's that QDTE as actually a negative total return, although I haven't updated that recently. So I hope that all helps. So please let me know what you think of QQQY or QQQI, the NEOS NASDAQ high income as a dividend payer on the NASDAQ, which one you prefer for trading a dividend payer on the NASDAQ. Do you just prefer the Qs or one of these dividend payers? We've tried QYLD in the past, and it was somewhat disappointing. Took a long time for that to be profitable, and then we got out, or maybe got out too early. but again, it's only got a 14%. So let me know what you think in the comments to this video or in our Discord. Just very quickly, if I missed your dividend payer in the chat, please let me know. Try to take a look at those. Otherwise, again, you can compare the yield maxes we watch and the total return on those in the yield max sheet in our dividend payers. Also, you can access the distribution schedule for the yield max, find out when their next ex-dividend date, payment date, etc. is via the link in our references sheet. So you can see the ones that we're watching. I have a positive total return. Apple's not quite near its 52-week low yet. We're watching that for a while. Cony's got a very attractive total return. AMZY a little lower. GOOY lower. Tesla is 24. NVDY 61, so it's very attractive. So again, total return of the ones that we're watching is all positive. So we still are in AMDY, although again, I'm looking for a swing back up in AMD, looking for more price appreciation, letting our cost basis decrease while we wait for AMD to swing back up. And again, I don't, there's MJ. So we talked about that. iGold, if gold comes down. And APOY, AMZY, AMDY. You can see Mosaic. There was talk about Mosaic benefiting if they got the rare earth deal with Ukraine. So if you're interested in that, you can see its risk reward profile. Again, negative total return. Some bond funds, Pfizer, Shutterstock. Again, pretty negative total return given the decline in price. Talked about SVOL and ZVOL, so you can compare those. Total return in our dividend payers as well. Okay, again, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. If you guys want to look at any other dividend payers, please throw those up and we can always take a look at those as well. Let me just grab a drink and jump to options. So again, in addition to our dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. Firstly, we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down. And we use our covered calls Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on various opportunities to sell and buy back covered calls. And you could do likewise, get 24/7 access to our covered calls Google Sheet, make a copy for yourself, do your what-if analysis on your covered call strategy by joining our Patreon. Also have a whole series of videos on how you can use our covered calls Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on your covered call strategy via the links in the videos. I recently made an update enhancement to our covered calls Google Sheet and to our automated systems that updates this covered calls Google Sheet at the end of each day. Wanted to share with you. So I added the 52-week low call option, the 52-week low price for the option, for the covered call option, and the buy profit. So if I buy it back at the 52-week low, how much would I make? So we'll take a look at that. So you can see the buy profit is what did I sell it at minus the 52-week low price for that option times the number of calls times 100, as each call is 100 shares. So again, I wanted to compare, see, okay, if I sold this, so here, let's take BITI, which we have this short position on Bitcoin, and I'm trying to figure out, should I sell the March or the Junes? You can see the current sell price, which is probably the recent high. So I can sell the Junes at 320 or the March at 250. You can see what that would do to the cost basis of my shares. So there's my current cost basis. So you can see what it'd do to the cost basis. How much would I make if I got assigned? What the price of BITI would be at that break-even point. So I wanted to see, okay, if I bought it back at the 52-week low, so here's the 52-week low price of that option. I bought it back at the 52-week low. You can see the June is 250 and the March is 12 cents. So I would get more if I sold and bought back the March than if I sold and bought back the June right now. But if I were to hold it to assignment, then I would make more selling the Junes. I have this sell right now on the Junes. Also, I have a higher break even there. So again, you can do what if analysis, decide what the best strategy is for you. If you want to hold it, just see if it expires worthless, collect the premium, or do you want to see if you get assigned, let it appreciate, possibly miss out on some upside, or do you want to buy it back at the 52-week low and then get that profit? So again, I'm hoping this will help me make those decisions between, which strike price, which expiration date, at which buy and sell prices should I sell and then buy back my covered calls. So let me know what you think of that, those additions, those enhancements to our covered calls Google Sheet. And if there are other enhancements that you would like to see, please let us know in the comments to this video or in our Discord. And we'll see how this works out. And again, I'm collecting those options data in my database, and now I'm just updating it to our watch or our covered calls Google Sheet. Also, we sell and buy back puts. As you saw, we sold and sold several cash secured put options this week, and we utilize kind of the wheel strategy to make money or buy and sell back those puts. So, and we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help us identify opportunities to sell and buy back puts. Again, you can do likewise, get 24/7 access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. Got several updates to our puts ROIC Google Sheet we'll quickly go over. Firstly, I added SOXL. As you saw, we sold the 25 strike on SOXL. So I've left that one in there, and then I added a row for the 20 strike price. So, and we sold it at 25, so I'm going to watch that, look to buy that back cheaper. But if you're interested in selling at the 20, you can see the ROIC on the $20 strike price for March. So again, pretty attractive ROIC as well. So again, if you can sell the 20, sell the 25s. Again, you can see our break-even price on the ones we sold is $20.65. Also, I added Shutterstock at the 20. So again, we sold the 2750s on Shutterstock, so I also put in the $20 on Shutterstock. So I need to update that. No, never mind. So we've got the, there's the Marches at 2750. There's the Mays at 2750 that we sold. And then now you can also see the $20 strike price for March. So ROIC on those isn't that attractive right now, but you might see if you get an opportunity for a lower strike price on the on Shutterstock. Again, you can see our break evens on those, again below probably the current price. So I could get assigned early, but I haven't. So possibly somebody missing out on an opportunity. If Shutterstock bounces back up, I can buy those back cheaper. Also, I lowered the strike price on Mara. Mara had broken down with the breakdown in Bitcoin, so I lowered the strike price on Mara from 1250 to 11. Not real hip on the Bitcoin miners with the decline in Bitcoin. Also, after the Bitcoin halving, it's more costly for them to mine. So I'd much rather trade Bitcoin with the ETFs than the miners. I think they lost money to their last earnings, but I'd have to go back and check that. Also, I lowered on MED. Again, we made money selling the 15s, but MED has since broken down lower. So I lowered that strike price down to 1250. Is there any other puts you'd like us to add to our puts ROIC Google Sheet or automated systems to collect that puts information? Please let us know in the comments or in our Discord. And we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to make money trading puts that you can access via the link in the notes. And we have a whole playlist on how to make money trading options via the link in the notes, or you can find on our YouTube channel. I also, again, I mentioned right now watching AEHR and our puts ROIC Google Sheet. You see right now I've got to sell out at the $10 strike price. I've got to sell out at 150. At 150, that would be a 14% ROIC. Thought maybe on Friday it would hit. I got up to 110. Didn't quite make it, so we'll see if we get a little bit more of a dip in AHR. I might get those puts, and then again we can trade AHR with those puts. You might be interested. Again, it just broke its 52-week low recently, made a new 52-week low. So if you're interested in shares in AHR, again, you can also watch that in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So again, another Google Sheet that I can use to watch in near real time all these stocks that we have that we're watching puts, like HIMX. If it were happen to decline rapidly, I could pick up shares of that as well. See, we still got the puts sell out on Intel. I had bounced up, came back down a little bit, still above our 20 strike price, but if we get a further tech sell-off in the market, SOXL sell-off might pick up some Intel as well. Otherwise, let's see if there's anything else that's very attractive. VIX did bounce up a little bit, so some of these are getting a little bit more attractive. If you're interested in Moderna, it's over 5%. We've talked about, I'm not terribly interested in Moderna. Talked about why in the past. And that's right now, that's about it. Maybe if we get further increase, pump up in the VIX, some of these might even get more attractive for the decline in the market. And some of these others might get more attractive again. So again, if there's anything you'd like us to add, please let us know in the comments to this video or in our Discord. Again, with any questions, any stocks you'd like us to look at, Please tag us in our Discord. We're beachbumtrading.com, but without, or BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other symbols, characters, etc. Our Discord is free to join. You have access to all the channels with the exclusion of the ones under the Patreon category, which I mentioned earlier. We've got all kinds of channels trading different asset classes, trading different trading styles, using different platforms. Love to have you join and actively participate in our Discord as well. So again, any other questions that you may have, stocks you want us to take a look at, options or dividend payers you'd like us to add to our automated systems and our Google Sheets, please let us know in the comments to our video or in our Discord. We hope that you like this content. We could really use your help. Hit the like button, help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to share our content with more traders, build our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. Also, we really need your feedback as to what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, our Google Sheets, our community, etc. Again, we really need to hear from you what we can do to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. Again, we need your help to share our content with other traders. Please repost our content on your social media sites. Invite your fellow traders to join us in the live chats, join us in the Discord, etc. Help us build our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. Thank you again to everyone that participated in the chat today, everyone watching after the fact. We hope you'll come back next weekend. It's 10 a.m. on Saturdays for part 1, 10 a.m. on Sundays for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. And in the meantime, good luck and have a great trading week.